Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Bantu Chic. My name is Lenny. Today we're going to be going more in depth on hair porosity and different hair regimen. First of all, the most important thing is for you to understand your hair's porosity. So if you haven't done the test, please go check our previous video because that's where we were talking in detail about hair porosity and how to identify yours. Here's the thing, in order for your hair to thrive, you need moisture. You need to find a way of introducing moisture into the inner part of your hair. Now, I'm going to show you guys an illustration, more like a cross-section of a hair strand, because it's very important for you to know the whole process of how moisture gets in there. The hair only needs moisture for it to be styled, for it to be stretched, and for it to have structure. Before we jump into the whole thing, I want you guys to understand something here. Porosity plays a major role when it comes to how your hair responds to product. So this is why it's very important to know your hair's porosity. Like I have high porosity. My hair is high porosity. Girl, what's happening? Yes, my hair is high porosity. So we have the L.O.C method and the L.C.O method. I'm gonna start with the L.C.O method, focusing on low porosity, and then we do high porosity. With the L.C.O method, which is liquid first, and then your cream, and then your oil on low porosity. What happens is, because first of all, I think let me show you guys a cross-section of a hair strand so that you can better understand what I'm about to tell you. We have the cuticle layer, which is the outside layer, which I call the doorway into the hair shaft. We have the cuticle layer, which protects your hair from damage, from heat damage, from wear and tear. And then the cuticle layer is the one that determines how porous your hair is. And then we have the cortex. The cortex is really just a bunch of protein streams. What it does, it gives your hair structure. It also gives your hair elasticity and also strength as well. And then we have the inner part of the hair, which is the medulla, and apparently only cause hair has medulla. I guess finer hair like mine, we don't have that, but oh well. We're gonna now move on to the liquid cream oil, low porosity hair. What happens with the low porosity is that it absorbs only a small amount of water, what it needs, and then it shuts tight. You hold on to it tight, not shut, hold on to it tight. And then when you apply your cream layer now, a little amount of the water content in the cream will also get absorbed into the inner part of your hair. My goodness, somebody didn't eat that veggies into the inner part of your hair. So it's very important also to note that you have to use water-based leave-ins. You know, if it's for the cream part, whether you're using a leave-in or a moisturizer, make sure it's water-based. Make sure you check for the first ingredient. And also, one thing to remember is always work your hair in sections. Do not try to do and cut time. It won't work. You won't manage to coat all of your hair. So try to work in sections, either 4 sections, 6 sections, like I do, and there you are sure that your product has covered all your hair strands. And then now we're gonna move on to the oil. I'm going to stress something here. I always suggest people to use thinner coating oils or thinner penetrating oils because they have small molecules like water, so they're able to penetrate through the hair shaft. We have examples like argan oil and sweet almond oil and jojoba oil. I call it jojoba, some say jojoba. Oh well, I don't know. Please comment below. Help me out. What is it called? Is it jojoba? Is it jojoba? I'll really appreciate your efforts on that or your input on that. So with that, when you use it, we put a layer of oil on top of the cream. It'll some of it will mix with the cream, right? And then it will create like a breathable barrier on your hair, you know. But using thicker oils like coconut oil, some people, you know, they believe using coconut oil works. Coconut oil is okay, but when you have low porosity hair, it can tend to be too thick, and it cannot be absorbed into the hair on its own, so it will need a bit of help. So usually when you apply coconut oil, make sure you apply it and then you put on your shower cap, create a bit of heat, you know, so that it can melt up and get absorbed quickly. So that's about it with the low porosity. Now we're gonna move on to the high porosity, still on the liquid cream oil method. With high porosity, your hair will absorb a large amount of water. and then it will swell up, which will lift and open up the cuticles a little bit more than a hair with low porosity. And then now when you add your cream layer, the water content in it will also get absorbed into the hair, and then the rest will coat the hair. And then when you apply your oil, a little bit of the oil will be able to get in there. Unlike with low porosity, when you put cream, the oil will not be able to penetrate through. With high porosity, because the pores are wide open, a little bit of the oil will be able to get inside, and then the rest will mix with the cream and coat your hair. And then yes, that's about it with the liquid cream oil. I need to stress this: when you apply your liquid, either is water, most of the time is water. You know, when you spritz water, I'm sure you've seen those videos. When you spritz in water, make sure your hair is damp. Do not drench your hair in water, because all these things will not work. Your hair will be full of water and you won't be able to get the nutrients from the cream and the nutrients from the oil inside your hair. So dampen your hair, do not drench. Next to our second method. And then we move on to the L.O.C method. They call it the L.O.C method, is the L.O.C, which is liquid and then your oil and then your cream. Cream comes last. And on the first one, we said liquid cream oil. So we're gonna be focusing on low porosity, and then we do high porosity like we did on the previous one. Here's one thing I want you guys also to note. If your hair is dense, make sure you work in sections. You know, because some people make sure you work in smaller to medium sections. Don't do 4 parts if your hair is dense. For some of us who don't have a high hair, for some of us who don't have hair that's dense, we can get away with 4 parts or 6 parts. But if you have a lot of hair, make sure you make those parts small, because at the end of the day, you want to apply your product in such a way that it will be able to retain moisture into your hair. So we're gonna move on to the low porosity, focusing on the L.O.C method. We're gonna do the water now, the water step, which is the first step, the liquid step. Like I said, it can either be water or a leave-in conditioner, and always make sure that it has a higher water content, because the water molecules are small, so they can penetrate through the hair shaft. Please remember that even when you're buying your products, make sure you check. Make sure if it says aqua, is it aqua or is it agua? Is it aqua, right? It's aqua. Yes. Check and make sure that it says aqua. So, and then you are sorted. With the liquid part, it works the same way as the L.C.O method. So, which means now we're gonna move on to the oil. And also now when you do this step, because it's liquid and then oil and then cream, make sure you don't drench your hair in with water, because if you put a lot of water, it's going to repel the oil when you try to put the oil, with low porosity hair. So make sure you put a little amount at a time, and then you can proceed to the next step, which is the oil. With the oil, like I said, it's always best to use thinner coating oils like sweet almond oil and avocado oil. I also love using olive oil. Some people prefer what do you call jojoba oil? Like I said, I call it jojoba. Comment below, let me know. Yes, and then because when you use thicker oils, like I said, they are going to be it's going to be hard for the hair to absorb. So what happens is it will just stay on the surface of the hair, and then your hair will dry out faster. So please make sure you use oils that are penetrating. So, and then what happens with the oil is going to mix to coat. A little bit of it will get into the hair, and then the rest will coat the hair strand, creating a breathable barrier. And now when you layer your cream now, your cream is going to mix with the oil, and then it will coat your hair. Initially when you apply oil and then cream, it might feel silk and smooth, and you might think you're snatched, sis, only to find out that that didn't go as you thought. Because what happens is with low porosity hair, because it absorbs a little amount at a time, those products, they'll feel heavy, and your hair will feel like it has a lot of product buildup. That's what happens with the L.O.C method. So a small amount goes a long way. And then now we're gonna move on to high porosity. With the liquid part, it works the same way as the previous method. It's going to absorb a whole lot of amount of water and then swell up. The cuticles will lift and open up more. So now when you apply your oil, a little bit of the oil will be able to penetrate. Only penetrating oil. excuse me, will be able to penetrate into the hair shaft and then give your hair that flexibility and stuff. And then also here, make sure you rub in your product. Rub in your product a section at a time. Anyway, I'm gonna do a product review video after this one. You guys will be able to see what I mean by rub in. Rub in basically just means take your product, you rub into your hair, take your time with you have to be intentional when it comes to layering your product, because you want to retain moisture. So with the oil, like I said, it's going to, a little bit will be able to penetrate, and then the rest will coat the hair. Now when you put in your cream, a little bit of the cream will be able to penetrate through, because the pores or the gates or the door or the cuticle is a bit open now. The water content from the cream will be able to penetrate through, and then the rest of the cream will mix with the oil and then coat your hair and then give you that shine, give you that elasticity that you need. And that concludes our two main methods. I want to make something clear. These methods, they are only temporary sort of like efforts to help your hair retain moisture. Moisture is very important for hair to grow. It's very important for hair to be able to be styled in whatever style you want to style it, for it to be flexible. Even when you do your twist out, if your hair is dry, you will not achieve it. People always ask me, what do you apply on your hair? What do you apply on your hair? I apply nothing special. I just do these methods. Because my hair is high porosity, I use both methods. You're probably wondering, so which one is best? Which one should I try, Lenny? Stop talking. At the end of the day, you have to try both of them and see which one works for you, which one works for your hair, which one doesn't make your hair feel dry or feel product heavy. So for my low porosity girls, because I know there's a whole lot more of you out there, for my low porosity girls, try the liquid cream oil and then see how it works, maybe for a week or for a month. Because when you apply these products on your wash day, you don't apply a lot, right? And then during the course of the week, you put a little amount as well, and then you see how your hair responds to that. So try the liquid cream oil, and then the following month or after your wash, you try the liquid oil and then your cream, and then you can see which one your hair responds to. Or for those low porosity people, you can remove a layer. You can use liquid and cream. In this case, it will be your water and then your leave-in conditioner or moisturizer, as is best known. And then you can try your liquid and your oil, which could be your leave-in conditioner and then your oil, penetrating oils. I'll do a video dedicated to oils, sealing oils and penetrating oils. I'm a believer of penetrating oils. I've never used sealing oils, so I'll do it for you because I care about you, and I know you're probably wondering why sealing, why that. So I'll do a video on that. And then when you now go to the high porosity because the cuticles are more open, it's okay to use either works. But still, you need to experiment with your hair. Make sure you buy products that don't have alcohol. Make sure you buy products that have water as the first ingredient, and then layer your product a smaller amount at a time, and then you put more during the course of the week, and then you see how it works. So I hope this is very helpful, or this is going to be helpful to somebody who's been wondering, my hair is dry, what can I do and stuff. And if there's another method that's out there that I didn't mention here, please feel free to comment below, share with us, help us out, because this is not perfect and this is not the only way to retain moisture. Moisture. Write that on your book. Moisture for natural hair to grow, to be flexible, to be styled. So now I think that's the end of our video. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me today. I love you so much, and thank you for participating, for sharing this video with your friends, liking the page, and making sure that the natural hair community grows. Love your roots. Welcome to the community. Snip, join us now. Thank you. Love you so much.